Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm getting this up so late this afternoon. Got really busy today, and then it's Sunday and having family time. But April 3rd, royal updates and other news. So I'm going to go through a lot of different things in here because I've got a research again for about 4 or 5 videos. Just can't get them all up fast enough. I hope everyone had a great day. And if this is your Sunday or this is your Monday, let this week be a wonderful week for you. Hope everybody is in good health and good spirits and enjoying, well, spring weather for us. If it's a different season for you, where you're watching from, tell us in the comments and leave a copy of your flag. Here's my disclaimer. You'll also find it in the description. When you go to my About Me page, I put a lot of different things in there. So if you want to know where to follow me on all other social media platforms, it's at the very bottom under my disclaimer on the About Me. So let's get started. Wanted to let everybody know that I've been told that the Rumble account Yankee Wally 1 is actually Sadie's. So not Yankee Wally, and there were some fake accounts set up. I still haven't heard back from her, and I've emailed her almost every day, and I haven't seen her post, but there were a lot of news clips that were going up, but only 1 or 2 that had Sadie's voice in it. So I'm hoping it's her. Maybe she's just went through dental surgery again and not able to talk, but I'm really missing her and miss hearing her voice. So go to Rumble, and I'll show you what that platform looks like. For anybody looking for SueSmith, she's on there as SueSmith, a.k.a. Long Sally, and I think it's going to be All That News or something. But she's got her videos up, so I've went and followed each of them and watching their videos. So this is what Rumble looks like. It has the sideways, I guess, little green triangle with white in the center. This is my Rumble account. I don't have my videos up yet. I wanted to get them up this past week, and I'm so sorry I just didn't get to it. So hopefully this week I'll be able to get them up. But if you want to go ahead and give me a follow over there, you can watch me wherever it's convenient for you. Oh, that was just something I was putting a new banner up on my social media platforms to try to let people know what I do instead of just the pictures that I had before. Let's talk about a couple of rag mags. And I have to tell you guys, as much as you think, that they are just making up stuff like in the National Enquirer, most of the time the National Enquirer doesn't get sued. They tend to do a lot of fact checking. And if you live here in America and you follow it, it's okay, baby. And then you'll know that a lot of the things that they actually print comes true. It says new court papers bear bitter bust up. And I've heard rumors that they had already kind of set up the divorce almost a year ago, but that Meghan was just rumors now that she was holding out and making it very tough. And then there were rumors about Harry going to New York this past week, and I don't know if any of those are true. I don't really like to speculate. I'm just going to read these to you, and then we'll just keep our eyes and ears open and see what we can find out. But it says, torn apart by ugly lies and vicious family feud. He's going home to Britain, and she's keeping the kids. I don't think that would be for very long. I'm sure he would sue for custody if that is the case. Again, this is just what's on the National Enquirer. So Arswell posted, RadarOnline.com, Prince Harry couldn't have happened to a more deserving person. Congrats at Omid Scobie for finally getting the attention you so deserve. Let's do Boozer next. That's not me saying that. This is on Arswell's account. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's cheerleader, Omid Scobie, is in some financial trouble. And then Radar goes and says, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's cheerleader, Omid Scobie's business has been seized after failing to turn over financial information. So I guess he hasn't filed tax returns since 2019, so he didn't do the year 2020 and 2021, which is when I guess his book would have come out, and surely there were a few hundred sales from that, but why didn't he do it? And I guess he has set up some kind of publishing company on his own, but I'll tell you more about that maybe in the next video. Let's see what we've got here. According to Daily Mail editor Richard Eaton, who we love, Former notice has already been given to the British journalist. On Thursday, Eden posted the official notice dated March 29th. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my mouth. That names Scobie's business MeU Limited. Former notice has been given this week with the Crown is to seize the assets of Omid Scobie. Prince Harry and Meghan's biographer, he's tweeting along with the photo. I'm right here, sweetie. Come here. Come here. Come here. Are you wanting down? Okay. Let me help him down. I think he hears one of the dogs barking next door. I'm sorry. If I can get myself up, I'm sunk back on the back of the sofa here. Here, come on, I'll let you down. I'm sorry, guys. So, Eden reports the former notice is the outcome of Scobie's failing to cough up legal required financial information. The man behind Finding Freedom, the book about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex departure from the royal family, has been facing the compulsory strike-off after allegedly not filing his accounts since the year 2019. Okay. Rumbles of the possible business shutdown were revealed over the weekend in Eden's report reading, Meghan's biographer faces loss of his firm. I can reveal the author of Finding Freedom about Prince Harry and his wife is facing action to close his publishing business after he failed to provide legal required financial information. It faces compulsory strike-off as it hasn't filed any accounts since 2019, Eden stated. Failure to provide these financial documents would result in a fine of £1,500 or about $2,000. For accounts that are more than 6 months overdue, according to Companies House, if a firm is struck off compulsorily, all its assets can be seized by the government. His reports continued. Despite the notice, Scobie is acting like everything is fine and dandy on Twitter. He's been tweeting all day as if the government isn't coming after his company, and I guess his assets too. I'm not gloating because I hate to see this happen to anyone, and unlike the Sussex squad, I don't take pleasure in seeing bad things happen to people, but I'm just wondering. I thought he would have made a lot more money or, be paid better by Meghan and Harry. I don't know if the guy's living outside of his means or what's going on. But anyway, I'll just stick with what's reported by Richard. Scobie is known for his heavy commentary on the royals, specifically Harry and Meghan. Like Radar, he was quick to denounce a recent inaccurate report claiming Queen Elizabeth was dead. So, Arswell, thank you, and that was on Twitter, that we found. And let's see, and I read that one a moment ago. Then I found on Twitter on Summer Sparkle, so credits Summer Parks 56, and their tweet said they had retweeted OK Magazine in the USA, and it says, yikes. Meghan Markle's cheerleader, Omid Scobie, notified that the Crown will seize his assets after failing to provide financial information. So, okay, and those are kind of magazines that tend to lean with Meghan. So do you think she's on the out and out with him? Has he been frozen out all of a sudden? Has he overstepped the mark? Is he off the payroll? I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm surprised that he wouldn't just maybe ask them for a personal loan to get this all cleared up. All right, so going on to the T-shirts on my community post on my YouTube. Let me step in the kitchen. I'm sorry, I got one barking and one sniffling here. At www.bonfire.com is the T-shirt that SueSmith has set up, and it's for the Legal Defense Fund. And I'm only putting this up here so if people didn't see the community post, and I have it on my Twitter, my Instagram, my Tumbler, my Getter, and can't put it on Rumble. But you'll find it at all these places, or you could just go back to the YouTube page, go to community posts, and you will see all the links for these. And I've got a couple more change.org's links that I want to get put up. I was putting them in the comment section of the videos. I think I have one or two on my About Me page, but I'm going to try to get them consistently across so they'll be easy for you to find. So if somebody says, hey, do you have that link? Just send them to my community page and they'll be able to get it, link on it, and go right to it. So, oh, this was just where a receipt from where I ordered my t-shirt. And sorry, I got to get a drink of water. And mine's estimated to arrive by April the 21st. I guess that's, they start shipping, I forgot if it was the 20th or something like that, or 19th. And you can get different colors. There's V-necks, there's round necks. And I believe, and I blacked mine out, was about $25. And then maybe with tax and shipping, I guess it ended up being $30. Don't hold me to that. It was right around there. So the next thing, we'll talk about a different royal, Peter Phillips. Remember, he's the nephew that walked in between Harry and William at the Prince Philip's funeral. And Peter Phillips was married to Autumn, and they had come up and said that they were going to divorce, but I guess they were staying together or living together for the kids. So evidently she's dating a very wealthy man. So that's why Autumn's got a spring in her step. Peter Phillips' divorced wife, divorced now, looks smitten with super rich homes tycoon in the first picture of her new romance. So I guess this is him. I don't know which is her daughter. That's got to be hers to the bottom left. But I don't know if he has kids on his own and if that's her on the shoulder. And then there's another here. You'll have to let me know if they have 2 kids, 3 kids, or, if one might be his daughter. So next thing, says she swapped royalty for riches, but Autumn Phillips has, until now, kept her romance with a wealthy property tycoon out of the spotlight. Our exclusive pictures are the first to show the former wife of Peter Phillips, the Queen's eldest grandson, with her new love, Donnell Mulryan. Please forgive me for mispronouncing that. I'm sure I have. An English Guys, my mouth is not working. An Irish construction company boss who boasts that he had been behind more than £5 billion of property schemes. I was trying to think dollars. The couple, who has been dating since last year, were photographed with Savannah 11, Isla 10, and her 2 daughters with Peter on a Mother's Day outing at Cirencester Horse Trails. So I guess 11, 10, those are her daughters with Peter, and then, okay, all right. So the next thing, the Mail Online. Royal family has very real fears that Harry's £18 million 4-book deal could destabilize the monarchy and harm Charles' reign by undermining his reputation. I don't know that anything Harry puts in his book is going to do any more damage unless there's something really shocking out there that we don't know about and we're just going to be gobsmacked by. I would think it's going to be more of like the Me You Can't See, more of the Oprah interview, and just his perspective on things. And he's kind of young. What is he, 39 now? Yeah, something like that. And to be writing his memoirs, because usually you've lived a full life, but I guess he's went through a lot of changes in the last few years. We've certainly seen the changes in him, but I guess he's going to tell us about how he's grown up and become a man. So it says that the deal could hamper the transition with the royal family. Harry and wife Meghan have agreed to a 4-book deal worth $29 million. Includes Harry's memoir, another after the Queen has died, and then a wellness book by Meghan, and then I guess there's the Invictus Games. Well, no, what would be her 4th one? Was Pearl one? Okay, so let's see, that's Harry's, and then Harry again after the Queen dies, and then a wellness book. So it must be the bench, I imagine. But so I'm just curious, what is he waiting on the Queen to die for that he's going to talk about? Now, is he going to reveal something about the Queen or her late husband, Prince Philip, that he couldn't reveal before because he wants to make sure that he's not X'd out of the will? He wants to be in Her Majesty's will. If it is, that's I wouldn't put it past him, and that would just be a terrible. How low can you go, people? Just seems like every day, everything he does, you just think, we can't go any lower, but then he manages to do so. All right, so then there is Victoria Beckham's son, who is getting married, Brooklyn Beckham. So it says, taking the prince, Meghan Markle, and Harry to attend Brooklyn Beckham's star-studded weddings days after snubbing Philip's memorial. I don't believe she's going to this. I don't believe she got invited. And I was telling somebody on social media, here's just in my opinion, this is allegedly for entertainment only. This is why I think that she wouldn't get an invite. All right, first of all, we know that if she goes to a wedding, she wants everybody to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. She wants everybody to turn in their cell phones because, God forbid, somebody should take a selfie with her and or a picture of her. I think ever since that Jamaican wedding that she went to, Tom Inskip's, where she's out there with the claw and looks like Harry's having a panic attack, I don't think she likes unplanned pictures of herself because her mask is not always up. So that's one of the reasons. Okay, so I think for the NDA, for the camera phones or cameras, and I think that her security, so that's going to be more people there, and take up the guest list. And the main reason I think that she wouldn't be invited, and again, I could be wrong, because maybe Harry's going to get that invite. But after they moved to Montecito, the Harry was told by Meghan, allegedly, that Victoria Beckham had been leaking things to the press that weren't so nice about her, and she wanted him to go over and work it out. Well, she had him go over and see Victoria's husband, David Beckham. And I'm thinking he must have looked like an idiot. And then it was allegedly said that David Beckham had said, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing going on. My wife's not leaking anything to you. She has no reason to, and so on. And then Harry had to go back with his tail between his legs, allegedly, and tell Meghan that, she says she's not leaking anything. Oh, and I found this on LadyColinCampbell bet. I'm sorry. I hope I don't leave anybody out to give them credit. So, on with that. So, let me know if you think that Harry and Meghan got an invite to the Beckham wedding, because I really don't think that she did. And I'm very, very firm in my belief with that. Now, GBN, Will Smith compared to Meghan Markle over tearful Oscar speech. So, Will Smith is the guy who won the Oscar at the Oscars last week and went up on stage and smacked Chris Rock. Again, violence. I don't care what his reasoning is, if he was off his rocker, if he was having a nervous breakdown. We know he and his wife have sort of an open marriage, whatever it is you call it, and there's entanglements and so forth, where she was involved with one of her son's friends who was an up-and-coming singer and having a midlife crisis. I don't know, but people don't take accountability for their actions. They just make excuses, just like I feel he did whenever he slapped Chris Rock. So, anyway, he's being compared. It says U.S. broadcaster, love Megyn Kelly, slammed out-of-touch Hollywood actors at the 94th Academy Awards. So she was saying that him getting up when he accepted his Oscar, he was crying, boo-hoo, and oh, poor me, love will make you do crazy things. I was just like King Richard. Now, remember, he's accepting an Oscar. I guess the name of the movie is King Richard, and it's supposedly a story about Venus and Serena Williams' father, who is a pretty tough guy, and how he was their tennis coach, and I guess how they came up through the ranks, and then the mother had later divorced. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been to the movie theater. I will even watch some of the new release ones on one of my movie platforms like Vudu, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. One of those I can find something. I don't have to run right out and see it, but I'm sure it's a good movie, and he won an Oscar, and I'm tickled for him. But I'm upset still that the audience stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Yes, he might have deserved to have that award. But I'll tell you, and I don't think I linked him in here, but I was doing some research last night and this morning, and I think it was John Rodriguez. Some other actors were talking about being on the set with him, and I think he was on, played his trainer or doctor on the Muhammad Ali story where Will Smith, was playing Muhammad Ali. Anyway, he was talking about how it was like a flip switch, a switch flipped, and he just couldn't believe that the way he was talking to him, and other people had talked about these kind of outbursts. I think he was, used to be a nice guy, and maybe it's all this drama and this open marriage he's got going on. Maybe it was the stress of the night. I don't care what it was. You can sit and explain it, but I'm not making excuses for anybody hitting anybody else. Chris Rock stood there, put his hands behind his back to show him that he in no way intended to retaliate. So, and now we hear, I'll give you all this update, that Will Smith removed himself from the Academy Award membership. Now, not as award, but no longer going to be a member of the Academy of Arts or whatever it stands for. But I'm wondering if he was asked to leave and they're just kind of like saying, he volunteered to do it. Kind of like when, Prince Andrew lost his titles. It was like, well, he gave them back. It's to allow somebody to save face. That's just my opinion. And I could definitely be wrong. But definitely he needs to see someone and seek some help, some therapy, anger management, something. Because clearly he's just lost all touch. Oh, I did the remarkable friendship. Was that this morning or last night I put it out? Oh, gosh, I can't remember now. I'm sorry. My days are just running together. It's so much going on. But Carl Larson, the gentleman who's in the video with him, I'd given my update, and I sent it back to him. And I was honest in my update, saying that, it was kind of unremarkable for me and that I felt like Thomas wasn't having much to say. Now, I don't expect him to say anything that would cause Samantha, his daughter, a problem, or I don't expect him to say something to where he's worried about Megan coming out and suing him. But I've got questions that can be answered by him, and I'm not talking about the things that have gone on with her since, he hasn't spoken to his daughter. He's not going to know that. He's just going to have speculation and read the same things we do, and we probably are better informed because we all do the research. We all watch different people. Everybody comes up with different content. We look at social media, all the content creators there, and find out what, everybody else is saying and what articles are flying around. But I had told Carl that, let's see, I'll tell you in a minute, I'll read that. But anyway, somebody had just said, was it in the one here? By the sounds of it, it was Carl who convinced Thomas to do the podcast, perhaps to get a scoop from Megan. Maybe she's on Megan's team, because Carl did mention that he had been the official photographer for Invictus. He didn't say anything about whether he was getting ready to go over to Hague for this year's Invictus Games, did he? And then they're still talking about going to the Jubilee, but I was honest and I told him what I thought. But anyway, Carl comes back and says, and you'll see it says remarkable friendships, the third paragraph down. It said it was the photographer, Jeff Rayner, because somebody said, wasn't he the photographer that took the photos of getting measured for a suit, sitting in a internet cafe, looking at a book on British palaces or something? And he said, no, that was Jeff Rayner who took the stage photos of Thomas Markle. And he says, and it says it right there in the photo. But there is some reason they had a falling out. And he said something about it in the first episode. But guys, I think they just assume that we know what's going on. But he doesn't explain, and we're looking for clarification. So I said to him in the back, I just answered him back, and this is right on my video of the recap of Remarkable Friendships. And I said, it might help if you explain why you had a falling out. It is confusing as to what happened between the two of you that caused Thomas to be cross with you. Other people were also wondering. It just wasn't clear in your episode 1. And then, let's see, was this the one? Yeah, let me just go down. The other one was just a partial thing. This could be addressed in the next episode. I apologize for seeming harsh, but I was being honest. I guess I was lacking in my patience and understanding. And a few of my viewers did say to me, he's new at it, give him time. And you are right. And I think I had just hit a level of frustration. Who knows? Maybe I was jealous that he had 16,000 followers and I've been struggling making hundreds of videos and I've just got over 4,000. So maybe I was jealous that he had all of these come right to him. And it is because it's Mr. Markle's there. And, we're wanting to hear what he has to say and hoping we'll learn more. So I did apologize to him in here. And then I went on to say, I guess I was lacking in my patience and understanding. So thank you, viewers. I always like it when somebody, kind of says, well, you might be overreacting or take it easy a little bit. That's what friends do, and I like that. That's honesty. I'm honest with you guys, and I like it when you're honest with me. And if I step out of line or I'm too harsh, I want you to call me out. Tell me, say, no, that's not very nice. But I was just thinking, gosh, it's the third one, and we're going backwards, not ahead. Anyway, back to what I said to Carl. This is really why I reached out in the first place. And I did try to do this after the very first one. And I read in another one the response he sent me back that he didn't want to have anybody interview him or work with any other channels. He was just giving examples of the channels he watched. And those are all lovely ladies. SueSmith, Lady C, and According to Taz. And very deserving. And I'd love to see him work with him. It says... So that's why I reached out with Thomas. I just wanted to help, and I have an idea of what viewers' expectations would be. When you're doing something, let's say you're in a relationship or you've got a project or you've made a painting, and you might look at it and you work so hard on it and you think, geez, that looks really good. It's not a Van Gogh, it's not a Picasso, but hey, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. But somebody else might look at it and say, that's one step above painting a bowl of fruit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you're in it, just like in a relationship, you can't always see. We see things through rose-colored glasses like Thomas does with Megan being his daughter. Anyway, I'm rambling. So sorry. So, So I go back to tell him that, I might have an idea of what viewers' expectations would be. I said, it's not easy, and you have to be better organized and recording, editing before it ever gets uploaded, because he had the premiere go out and it uploaded, and then it kept getting rejected and kicked out, and it took like 8 hours or something later before he actually got it on and uploaded. I'm offering my help again, and I want nothing in return from you, Carl. I want Remarkable Friendship to succeed just as quickly as your followers flock to you, because Thomas is Megan's father. They will leave just as quickly. I do not want to be in the video. I just want to have some phone conversations with you while you're driving or sitting in the traffic that you explained to me about before some of your viewers lose interest. And I was going by some of the feedback, because I got feedback on both sides, pro and negative against it. It's free help with no strings, and it's just phone calls between you and myself, Carl. And then, this was somebody else that was telling me, Kit Kat, one of my community members, and she was just talking about, said, I've been disappointed by Thomas Markle's channel. As a parent of 5, I can tell you that it is horrible to put someone in between the two of them when they're arguing. And she's right. So I'm telling you, I listen and read these comments, and you people are like so smart, so spot on, that I'm like, you're right. I think I overreacted a little bit, and I need to be more helpful and patient. So thank you, Kitty Cat, and some of the others that I didn't include in this, but I went back in the comments and tell you thank you. So I appreciate you. And so anyway, she just goes on to talk about that a little bit and said, we all know that Sparry and Scary are the Duke and Duchess of lies, but Thomas needs to be careful or he could come out just as big of a liar. Because I do remember, here was something she said. He said Scary was born in 1981, and that's the birth certificate I saw. I found it, looked it up a long time ago. Then please explain to Thomas Markle how it is that all of her classmates are 44 or 45. And I know somebody else did that, and I thought, and they came up with that. But I think it was SueSmith that I watched that proved that, no, 40 was her actual age. And please correct me if I'm wrong, because, sometimes it's hard to remember who found out what. But Kitty Cat, yeah, if you remember who did that and found out about her classmates, let us know, hon. Come back in the comments if you don't mind. Okay, and said that, and said that a year ago, maybe a little longer, a man did an interview and said that when he was with Scary, they were both 13 years old and they shared their first kiss. Well, then he admitted that he was 43 or 44. Kitty Cat, is that the guy that is now like in real estate out in California near LA? Because I had looked him up and found some stuff too, but yeah, I'm kind of thinking that's ringing a bell to me a little bit. But anyway, but we do remember that when Thomas was talking with Piers Morgan on, is that Good Morning Britain? And he was asking him different things. Remember Thomas talked about that they were checking on him in the hospital and, and helping him out and offering to send help and getting everything ready for the wedding. And then later he recanted that and said that he just didn't want to say that he hadn't heard back or the nasty things that they had said because he was embarrassed. And, he didn't even send all of the letter to the Mail on Sunday. Whenever they published it, there were certain pages that he kept back because I guess it was so hurtful and he was embarrassed and didn't want anybody to know his daughter could write such nasty things. So he purposely left some things out. But it was more than 10% of the letter, so she won that case. Is that one she won on £1? So let's see, the next thing. Let's move on. Okay. So then, here's what Carl said. So I'm doing research and talking to other people and answering my comments. So this was what he originally come on and said. And he said, you can see it says remarkable friendship. It says, we haven't got the horse even off the track yet, you guys. This was after my recap. And Thomas is just beginning to get comfortable doing his show as I am. Your point is well taken. But I could see Thomas telling me that if people hate us and the show is a big disappointment, just enough for him to change his mind about doing the YouTube channel. And that would certainly be his right. I don't want that to happen. And I did not post any comments on their video. If I didn't have something nice to say, I don't say at all. But if I'm on my channel and I'm interacting with my community, I felt like it was okay for me to talk about. And I was going to be honest, and that was the recap and my opinions. So, he goes on to say, so just so you know, as a matter of fact, and I'm glad he explained this, I drove to Mexico twice to do this last episode, which was 16 minutes. We were going to film Oscar Sunday, but then he changed his mind. So I had to drive all the way back to LA, only to turn around on Wednesday and come back again and stay over in a hotel again and wait 4 hours to cross the border again and drive 3 hours back to LA. Guys, that is a lot of time. That's a lot of money. And I don't know if he's married or has a family, but even if he doesn't, I can see where that's cutting into his personal time. But hey, that's a sacrifice you make. I work just about a full-time job doing my channel, and I don't get paid for it. And so far, I've never asked for tips. I don't even have a link up, but I'm thinking I'm going to. But let's see. But anyway, so I understand what he's saying. So maybe putting the PayPal and asking for donations is more to cover his costs. But if it were me and I were doing this to help Mr. Markle out, I would ask Mr. Markle if I could stay over on his sofa and save the hotel costs and try to get a couple of podcasts done and then just stagger them out. So if I'm making 3, I would stagger them out every 2 or 3 days so that you're not making a trip down 8 hours and then waiting in line for, 4 hours to cross the border and then, just to be able to get down there to do 15 minutes. That just wouldn't be worth it because he's not going to make any money off from it. In fact, he wouldn't even be able to, run ads or anything yet because you've got to get, he has enough subscribers now, but I don't know if he's going to do that. But he may not have enough viewing hours. I forgot, that's been a couple years since I've read all that. So I said, Carl, I understand where you're coming from. And I said I was honest and fair. I apologize for my harsh criticism. I guess I wasn't being very fair. And I read this to you earlier. So he wasn't being mean to me at all. And actually him explaining the cost involved and the amount of travel, I guess maybe I understood. But also, I don't think it looks good when you're coming across like you're asking for money for somebody to pay for your airfare and transportation and lodging to go to the Jubilee. There's just perceptions. And we all get different perceptions. It's like the telephone game. You're sitting in a circle. Everybody is given one sentence. They whisper it to the next person and so on. By the time you get to the last person, it's so altered from what the original statement was that, you're like, did I even hear? Are you sure that's what you said? So I think we do get impressions, and that's what I wanted to talk to him about. And not saying that I'm some expert, because Lord knows I make mistakes and I'm not an expert, but I just wanted to tell him what our perception is, what we're seeing so far. And that's with the generous feedback from my community and your comments that are so helpful that, that's what I told him. Give me a call when you're driving back and you're sitting in that traffic, and let's just talk about a few things. And I wanted to talk to him about getting better organized and deciding what Thomas wants to talk about, and maybe not talk about the current events that are going on, because you can find that on all of our channels. That's all we've got to go on. But I think he can, without messing up anything to do with Samantha's case, I think he could go back and tell us what really happened before the wedding. I want to know if they had ever sent him a plane ticket. I want to know if he was ever sent a wedding invitation. I want to know what they were supposed to do about his tux when it's days before and he didn't have a tux or didn't have a fitting. What were they going to do? Get him over there and the day before do all that? So there's questions that won't interfere with Sam's case. And I wouldn't even ask those kind of things. Lord, I've got a family. We've got 7 attorneys in our family, an extended family. So I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that. I just want to ask him some of the questions that he can answer. And it's just setting the record straight with his truth. And if you've got some questions, go on Remarkable Friendships and ask them there. I don't know if they're actually going to take questions or if you want me to compile them, however you want to do. But I know we all have questions, but I would have been very careful, and I don't need to interview them. You already said they were going to do it on their own, and I get that. So I just wanted to kind of help him be a little more organized and kind of give him some pointers of what all of us have had to go through. There's a learning curve in the beginning, and when you get an organic following of 16, 17, 18,000 people, they haven't come to you because they've already watched your channel and they like your content and they want to subscribe. They've come to him because he's Megan's father. So you've got to keep them there or they're going to want to leave. And people have already told me they didn't want to watch it. They'll listen to the recaps or they've already went back and unsubscribed. So that's where I want to help him. I just want to give him a little bit of perspective and find out what their goal is, what he's hoping to accomplish, and ask him to let Thomas speak more. I'm going to be straight up and say, I don't want to hear your viewpoints, and we don't want to hear what you think about this. I don't want to see the pictures you've taken. We're really tuning in to watch Thomas. Now, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, because, again, I could be wrong. You guys set me straight, and I love you guys for it. I really appreciate it. So, let's see. Oh, this is where I just went on to tell him that, yeah, I want to give you advice. I want to make it successful because you do have this organic following. I've experienced that in perspective, which can benefit you. I do not need to talk to Thomas, nor do I wish to have anything in return. I don't even want to mention of my channel. I truly just want to help. I understand that you're both still new and you're finding your footing, but honestly, I can assure you that you will lose the majority of your followers soon if you don't have a solid plan and make some changes. People just won't continue to stay if they don't find the content interested in, or something's being revealed within reason, what he can, that it won't get him in trouble or won't get, his daughter won't sue him. So I just said, call me, let's talk about it. I'm offering to help. And I talked about my amazing viewers and how you guys are very honest, and that I could share with them your feedback too about the suggestions that you made or your impressions so far. My goodness, I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. So, let's see if this was the first one. Oh, this is where he was talking about, and he answered the guy and told him that it was not him that took the photos. But we do need to know. I don't know from watching those first 3 episodes why Carl and Mr. Markle fell out. I thought it had something to do with him taking pictures of him and, making him look like he was in a bad light. Or maybe he referred him to, Jeff Rayner that at Backgrid. I don't know. But I would like to know, because that's interesting, and that's something that Carl could even share if he wanted to. All right, what else? Oh, going back to the book and Harry's memoir. And we know there's going to be some things in there that are not going to be comfortable for the royals, but I really think it's more whining and victimhood. Somebody made this, and I'll show you in just a minute and give credit for whoever I took it from. But I think they had retweeted it as well. It says, "Never ever trash your grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen. 95, telling lies to a worldwide audience. What were you thinking?" Hashtag, better shut up, Harry. No one wants your angry book of lies and victimhood about the jerk you've become. Just sod off, Harry. So I got this from Alice Murray on Twitter, and she says, "Don't come back, has-been." And I don't know if she's the creator or somebody else had sent it to her, so I'd like to give credit to the person, but I don't know who the actual credit should go to. But I did borrow it from Alice Murray. Now, Elizabeth on Twitter we were going back and forth, and she tweeted this out or retweeted it to me. "This circle is now complete. You all know the body language guy, Jose Enrique Rosa." I love that guy. And so he was comparing Amber Heard, which we know is narcissistic, and I followed the entire, I don't know why I didn't do videos on it, because, I've got composition books filled with, the trial that took place over in the UK, and I just didn't know if anybody would be interested. And then you've got Meghan, and then you've got Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who they believe is a narcissist, and that she uses her coercive control to get her husband to kind of stand up. Because who was it? I watched a lot of people from Hollywood and athletes come out, and somebody had a video with their phone from behind Will and Jada Smith, and it showed her after, let's see, okay, went up there, hit him, he come back, and she was kind of laughing. She didn't say, "Oh, no," or try to stop him or anything. And then somebody else made a joke, and she kind of laughed about that. But some people were saying, again, this is just rumors, so I don't have any idea. But people in their circle and people in Hollywood were saying that they believe that after he came out and talked about the open marriage and kind of went on the Red Table Talk with her, which is her Facebook show, and she was talking about her entanglements with her son's friend, and that she was so humiliated that this might have been revenge, her way to get back at her husband, to gaslight him with a look, to get him to go up there and feel he had to defend her honor, and to show other people the anger issue he has. Allegedly just for entertainment only. And Amber Heard was a very violent person. I heard on the videos that Johnny Depp was taken. And I mean, she threw things, chopped off the tip of his finger from the first joint down on his finger with a whiskey bottle that she smashed on top of his hands right on a kitchen counter island. And so there was a lot of, violence in that. And I don't think Johnny ever hit her. I think he may have just put his hands up to keep her away. But they said she was after his money and that she never loved him either, and that she was a gold digger, and that she was just there to, and boy, did he lose his money. That and his management company, I mean, they just about drained him dry. But so all of these women have been known to be spiteful, to take revenge out on their partner, lover, spouse. So take that for what you will. So he's put them in the same group. All right, now here's another thing. Remember at the Oscars, they were talking about Jada Smith, and I had said in my video that it was said that she had alopecia, which means fine hair, loss of hair, inability to grow it back, depending on what your condition is. Well, Tina Yoder sent this, and Kathy Greiger on Twitter, credit to those guys, said, this is the scoop on Jada. And Jada is there on the left, and I can't tell if that's her on the right. It looks like her. Is that her? I guess it is. But anyway, it says, her hair loss is not a medical issue. And I've seen other people saying this too. It is called traction alopecia. Tightly braided hair, which she has worn for almost consistently for 30 years. It says it puts stress on the hair root and it pulls it out. And she also has, it says, this person says, I have autoimmune alopecia, and she does not have that. Well, I don't know exactly what her medical conditions are if she has an autoimmune disorder. So this person says that she has traction alopecia and she does not have the autoimmune alopecia that that would just cause your hair to fall out, but that it's from having tight braids for 30 years. Now, of course, I'm not African American. I don't have the same texture of hair as they do. We braid our hair sometimes, so if somebody out there can tell me, is this something you've heard about? Have you experienced it? Do you know somebody else that has experienced it? Hair loss and bald spots from wearing braids for long periods of time. So help us out. Then Duchess H puts this up, and I believe this was on Twitter as well. And Remoulade Sauce had sent it and says, oops. And you can see Catherine, it says, what you ordered. Look at that beauty in class. And it says, and what you received. They were invited to go on their tour, and Megan just came up. And I did think it was an inappropriate dress for her to wear. I just thought it was too revealing. And the night should have been about the people winning awards and the veterans. And I just don't know why she's got to upstage everybody. And, you know, if she would just listen to some of the things that we say and that we're honest and it's constructive criticism, then maybe, you know, she could do better. But listen to people. Listen to feedback. We all have to listen to feedback. That's what teamwork's about. When we work, we have to cooperate with other coworkers, whether it be our team members or other clients or associates. We work in cooperation with one another, and, you know, you want to make it a win-win for everybody. So here's something else. As you can see in the beautiful red dress, you've got Serena Williams. And then, I know that's Chrissy Teigen, who's married to John Legend, the singer. And I don't know some of these other beautiful women. That might be Matt Damon's wife, the makeup artist, in the suit there. But don't hold me to it. I could be wrong. I'm looking to see if I see other familiar faces. And it's really hard, especially when they're wearing sunglasses, because you can't tell exactly who they are. I just don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't know any of the other beautiful ladies that are there. But anyway, Serena Williams had like a mom get-together. And it appears that someone in Montecito was not invited. And this is supposed to be a woman who says that she's mentored by Harry as a Better Up coach, and that she's a mother. Meghan has 2 kids. She's right there, in town, and she's having this mommy get-together. And the lady in the pink there is definitely expecting. And this was sent to me by Nugget Nation. It said, it seems Serena Williams didn't invite Nutmeg or her mom to party at all. No wonder Nutmeg is hinting that she'd attend Brooklyn Beckham's wedding. So she means putting PR puff pieces out there like we heard about the Oscars. And it says they are being ignored and excluded from all A-list events. Talking about the Harkles. Now, again, this is the t-shirt. And, Sue Me, God bless her, and Keeping New York Mega Trash Free did the design. She does those wonderful cartoons that I'm just crazy about. And look at my About page. I list a lot of other YouTubers that I watch there. And Duchess Drop Bear and the new one that's a Scottish View. That I had mentioned in the other video. Can't think of her first name now. Oh, goodness. But then you've got Duchess of North Sussex. There's just so many new ones out there. So go give them a listen if you've got time. I know you can't listen to everybody, but I try. All right, Fifi, the Cambridges, says... Well, you can see what she says there. But this one is In Touch magazine. Again, sometimes they're completely wrong, but sometimes there's bits of truth. This says, Prince Harry's secret double life. He meets up with a 22-year-old bombshell, Meghan's devastating ultimatum, and why they are really moving. So are they moving to New York? Did he move to New York? Who's this woman that he's out with? Is she somebody who works at Better Up? Is she the female that he played polo with when he took off to Colorado? But supposedly he's been gone, I think, 6 weekends or 6 times out of 12 months. But let's go on because there's another. And the Inquirer. New court papers bear bitter bust up. Harry and Meghan, it's over. Torn apart by the ugly lies, vicious family feud. He's going home to Britain and she's keeping the kids. And again, that's the Spot Fun on Sue Me. And I've got those in the community page. I apologize this went on so long, but as you can see, I've got enough to do about 4 more videos. And I was trying to get as much out as I could today and then kind of move on to the next subject. So thank you for all the new subscribers. Say hello to everybody in the community. I hope you get to know each other, talk to each other. Everybody in here is so sweet and just really just has some great great opinions and give good advice. But thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already and stay with us and set that notification bell. And like I've asked my other subscribers, if you want to support your YouTubers, just even if you're not somebody who likes to leave comments, just go leave an emoji. It could be a thumbs up. It could be a tomato for Yankee. It could be, a crown, anything. But when you do that and you hit the thumbs up like, it really affects the algorithms. And sometimes, even if you're subscribed and the notifications are on, the videos don't come up. So if you do that each time, it's almost like Facebook. If you don't talk to certain friends, after a while it kind of drops you and you don't see their feeds come up. Well, that's the way it is for this. And this is just to notify you. I have no access to your stuff. It's all done through YouTube, and all you're doing is subscribing to it. And anytime you get tired of listening to my voice, and you can just go back and hit unsubscribe. So it's as easy as that. And you're not going to get any kind of message saying, are you sure? You sure you're ready to leave? So nobody will bother you. So thank you all for watching, and I'll try to get another one out shortly. Again, have a great week. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of news coming in now that the memorial service is over. And I believe I heard a date set for possibly September for the launch of Harry's book. Will he go on tours, book tours? Don't know. But at least the majority of the Jubilee ceremony and things will go on during June. But, okay, I guess that's it. I'm sorry. I know it's enough. I love you all. Thank you all so much. And just many blessings to each of you. And take care of yourselves and your family. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.